say from now, look at Tamale. Look at Tokoradi. Look at Cedro. Look at Accra. That's why he brought you here, to look back and go back. Why do you think England is more blessed than Accra? It's in your brain. It's in your brain. It's in your brain. The day we opened our big church, some of you were present. Who was present that day? You were there. We built that church. It cost millions. And I put in the brochure for opening the church. I said, this church is built cash-free, paid. It cost FAIT. The money the church was going to be opened, one of the contractors read the brochure. And he said, you owe me $47,000. Why did you say you paid everybody? So when I was reading the address, I said, this thing was printed last week, and I said it's built cash free. I said, but I didn't know that we are owing one of our contractors $47,000. A friend of mine who sat next to my wife, he said, go and tell him to open this briefcase. We opened it. How much was inside? $50,000. $3,000 more than what I was owing. In Africa, not in London. Everybody say Africa. God has moved his headquarters from America to Benin City. God is here, but he doesn't end here. Did you hear what I'm saying? Everybody, and many Africans you see, they say, I'm going to preach overseas. They're either going to Dallas or Tulsa or London. What of Romania? What of Czechoslovakia? It's overseas too. Huh? Bombay, Jamaica, Bahrain, Iraq is overseas. Why should God be sending every African to London when Saudi Arabia is unevangelized? Chile. Every American that answered the call of God is coming to Brighton. Why can't they go to Yugoslavia? Is there anything too hard for God? Every time you look at people who say they are going abroad for preaching, the stamp of the passport is always London or New York. When God said, go ye, was he talking of London and New York? Are those two nations the end of the world? And the Lord took him abroad and said, look now toward heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall. Everyone say that. So shall thy seed be. Did you hear me? That's prophecy for you. That's prophecy for you. Wherever you go from today, The Lord will cause you to bear fruit. The Lord will cause your fruit to have seed. The Lord will cause your seed to produce fruits. The Lord will cause your seed to bear fruit. The Lord will cause your fruit to have seed in the name of Jesus. If you are confused at home, go abroad. So I went abroad. I went to Australia. And this is no joke if you have the map of the world. When you get to Sydney and you step to the ocean there, unless you reverse, there's no other part of the world to go. And it takes 46 flying hours from my city to Sydney. That's the end of the earth. Not somebody leaving London to Liverpool say I'm overseas. No, that's over river. I tell many Americans, all of you preach faith for domestic consumption. If you are really preaching faith, come and live in Africa for 2 years. You are in California shouting, ba, 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 ba. Oh yes, my God can do it. Oh yeah. Come and live in Tamale for 6 weeks. Then I know God called you. Some of those faith books you are reading are not worth penny. In time of crisis, they don't know how to stand. If I wanted to be a millionaire, I would live in America. But God told me if you stay there, I'll kill you. That's why I'm at home. I'm in Africa. That's why I'm in Africa. 1976, June. My wife and I went to visit the husbands. The husbands and I now have been friends for 28 years by this year. And Dr. Osborne put us in the car, one of his Rolls Royce, and drove us around all parts of Tulsa. He said, choose any house of your choice. Osborne Foundation will pay for this house for you. And my wife and I began to weep and thank God for such a miracle. He took us to millionaire section. Charles, sit down. Don't talk, sit down. You need to hear what I'm saying. He took us to millionaire section, took us to middle class section, took us to well-to-do section. 3 sections. He said, choose any house. We looked at them all. We choose millionaire section. Don't tempt me with good things. So we said, that one on that hill, he said, we'll come back tomorrow. And he meant it. The husband, my second daughter is called Daisy, named after his wife. So we went. That night at 2 a.m., the Lord tapped at my shoulder. Said, did you say you are going to stay here? How many of you know that when you have good news, you speak in tongues throughout the night?